for joining us today. A good day to all of you. Good evening to everyone who is, in India and the other parts of the world where it is evening right now. And I cannot tell you how excited I am and the team is to host the first this month at Reseller Club session for 2021. In case some of you all may not know, this is a new event we started last year owing to the pandemic, where we couldn't meet some of you all in person, but we wanted to continue to engage with you all, hear from you, answer the questions that you may have, and continue to provide our product information updates on a regular basis. And we met some of you all last year over 5 of such events. And this is the first one of 2021. And yeah, we're really excited to have you guys today, and we will continue to keep seeing you, over the months as we proceed in the year. Just before I hand over to our speaker for today, I wanted to take you guys through the panel, and just so that you get familiar with it. The left side is the desktop view, and the right is the mobile view for those of you all who are using the mobile versus desktop. You have the raise your hand symbol over there, which you could at any point during the presentation. You can submit all your questions using the question mark sign. We will see all of those, and we will try and respond to them as many as we can in the duration today. If we aren't able to tackle any, do not worry. We're usually pretty fast with this, so very quickly we'll get back to you with those answers over email. We also have another section for the handouts. We have a solutions handout updated for you all. So yes, please feel free to refer to it and have a look at it for more information. On the mobile screen, you can turn it to the landscape mode to have a better view of the event as well. So just want to do a quick check and also see how well you understood the panel. If you can hear me clearly, can you guys please raise your hands? Okay, am I audible, guys? I'm seeing a few hands, but just waiting for a few more. Okay, great. I think I am sufficiently audible. Thank you. Cool. So without taking much of your time and getting into what you guys are here for today, I would like to introduce our speaker, Srinath. Srinath, if you can come on camera. You're on mute, Srinath.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So I'm going to hand it over to Srinath now, and he will not only take you through an overview of some of the aspects, but also answer a bunch of the questions we have been receiving and we feel are important, and also take questions right in the end. So yes, over to you, Srinath, and good luck.
Hey guys, yeah, I feel very happy to be here. So first of all, let me thank everyone for joining this webinar. I've been working with ResellerClub for past 5.5 years as system administrator support, and I have around 8 years of experience in web hosting industry. So when we decided to organize a webinar to our VPS and dedicated customers, we did a brief research on to help to find out the common issues which has been reported by our VPS and dedicated customers, with the help of our VPS and dedicated support team. And we have compiled those issues, and we have we have put down the solutions for each and every, and we have compiled them into a solution guide. And I will be using this webinar session as a medium or a platform so that I can introduce you, I can provide you that handout, and I can show you how how useful a VPS and dedicated server can be to evolve your business continuously. So yeah, So by the time this webinar is over, you will know what a VPS dedicated server is and when you will need a VPS dedicated server, and a screenshot-based walkthrough on one of the important and useful tools this panel has to offer. And finally, a brief walkthrough on the solutions to the common blockades you may face or come across while working with your VPS and dedicated servers. So yeah, I hope it's going to help you to manage your VPS and dedicated server efficiently. Okay. So yeah, so throughout this seminar, as I already told you, we'll be having a brief introduction about what a VPS and dedicated server is, and next thing is I was talking about an important tool, a useful tool offered by cPanel, EasyApache. Next, I'll be telling you how to understand and manage the resource usage, and fourth one, I'll be introducing you to two useful testing tools which the developers will be able to use to determine what kind of server plan you will be needing to host your website. And the last but not the least, I'll be giving you a quick run through on what are all the contents which are there, what is the content of the handout we are giving out. So yeah, let's without further ado, let's get on with the session. So the VPS and dedicated server allows you to have a personal and isolated environment to host your website contents. So whereas in shared hosting, you will have to share this and the resources with few other websites which are not even related to you. So in shared hosting servers, where we have to put limitations and rules to ensure that each and every account hosted in the shared hosting server has equal share and level of access to the server resource. So there may be certain cases or certain situation may arise where the one or more accounts might require more number of resources, more amount of resources than what it has been allocated with. So the best way to handle that particular situation is to move to a appropriate VPS dedicated server plan based on the based on the resource requirements. We can call it as a system requirements for of the particular website or account. So the advantages of moving to a VPS and dedicated server is, you will be provided with root access to the server, which basically means you are the boss of that server. So you can decide what you want to be installed in the server, what are all the limitations you want in the server, what kind of website you want to host in the server. You will be the decision-making authority of the server. So you can have any PHP version, any Apache version, any handler, any MySQL version as per your requirements to be installed on the server. So, and we have to help you with the setup and your to have a better hosting experience. We have a dedicated VPS chat support team which is active 24/7, which you can make use of to get answers on your if you have any doubts on your VPS and Dedi products. So before jumping into the main topics of this webinar presentation, let us have a quick poll question for you guys. Okay, here let me explain the question first. So we have our friend Mr. Chris who has a website which at least requires a 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores to run properly, to run effectively and fast. However, it is hosted in a server, in a shared hosting server, where he does not have that much amount of resources even that is required. So the problem is because of that, because since the website does not have enough resources, it is facing some slowness, it's facing some performance issues. So now Chris is discussing it with me, and I have provided him with 3 suggestions. So I have suggested him to optimize his website to work with the shared hosting limitations, or I have suggested him to get a VPS server with 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores, which is his minimum requirements, and suggested him to get a VPS server with 4 GB RAM and 4 CPU cores, which is slightly over than the amount of what he's actually requiring. So let us wait for the codes to get completed. All right. I have the results right now, and I have 7% of people voted for optimizing his websites. 57% voted for 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores, and the 36% vote for 4 GB RAM and 4 CPU cores. My personal suggestion for Chris would be to go for option 3. I'll tell you why. Because our websites are main tool which we use for evolving our website, evolving our businesses. So to evolve our businesses, we'll be constantly adding a lot of features to our websites. So adding features means basically the new feature which is added to your website might require more resources. So the problem over here is if you go for something which is exactly to what it is required. For example, in this case, if you go for 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores, when you evolve your website or when you upgrade your website or you add more features to your website, you might face again the resource crunch. So predicting that kind of evolution, predicting that kind of upgrades beforehand would help you to do your upgrade without any pressure or something, so that you can have smooth running of your business. So you can compare this to your to a computer game which comes with minimum and maximum recommended system requirements. Minimum requirements will do the job, but not as good as what the recommended requirements does, because you can see the difference. You can see the difference in game performance if your PC is having recommended requirements for the game. So obviously, my personal suggestion to Chris would be to go for option 3, which has 4 GB RAM and 4 CPU cores. So yeah, okay. So let's get on with the next thing. So yeah, so EasyApache tool, I characterize it, the EasyApache 4 as a an important and at the same time it's a useful tool offered by cPanel for our on any hosting server. I'll tell you why, because cPanel is kind of an engine to your server, because it allows you to manage all your software related versions. It allows you to manage your web server version. It allows you to manage all the PHP versions. It allows you to manage all your PHP and Apache modules, because whenever you want to have a new module to be installed to add more features to your website, you can easily do it by via graphical user interface offered by EasyApache 4. So why EasyApache 4 is because I'll tell you, because the older versions of EasyApache, which is for example, we can consider EasyApache 3, which was having a lot of drawbacks to it. So it was having it was not having GUI interface, front-end interface. We have to manage all the installation and enabling the modules. Everything has to be done from command line, and it has a high risk of corrupting your entire server. If you do some even one wrong move would corrupt the entire server. And it has to, because it has to recompile the entire server configuration every time you run the EasyApache 3. All these shortcomings were overcome by EasyApache 4, where you have your front-end graphical user interface, front-end interface in WHM, through which you can easily install any version of PHP or any PHP extension. If you want to upgrade your Apache, you can do it smoothly via EasyApache 4's front end. So yeah, and another main advantage of EasyApache 4 is it allows you to have multiple versions of PHP and module profiling. For each PHP version, we can have different set of modules to be enabled, which is not possible in EasyApache 3 because EasyApache 3 allows you to have only one PHP version installed on the server. If you want to change it, you have to change it for the entire server. So that is why I called EasyApache 4 as a an important and a useful tool. I mean, in upcoming slides, I'll be walking you through the process of installing a PHP version and a PHP extension by showing you the screenshots where we, screenshots showing different options involved and different pages we'll be going through in the process of installation. Okay, so now, for the sake of example, I have taken the PHP version 7.2 and PHP extension as file info. Okay, so this EasyApache 4 is basically a administrative level tool which can be done only by system administrators of the server. So you have to log in as root to a WH interface of the server and go to software and EasyApache, or you can even search EA4. Sorry. Hello, guys. Am I audible and clear? I'm sorry about the interruption.
Yes, you are.
Cool. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry about the interruption, guys. Since I'm working from home, it's the network connection is a bit unstable here. I'm sorry about that. So let's resume the presentation for now. So what I was talking is, how to gain access to the EasyApache front-end page from WHM. So what you will be doing is, we'll be logging into the WHM as root user and we'll be going to WHM home, and then from there to software, and then there you will be able to see the option to access EasyApache 4. Or you can directly go to a search bar at the left top left corner, where you can see a search bar, and you can type in EA4 over that. It will give you the option to access EasyApache 4 there. Now, as soon as you click on the EasyApache 4, it will open you the interface of EasyApache 4, which will be showing different profiles you have as of now. So actually, it will be showing currently installed profile, as well as the profiles which are actually there, other profiles you have created. So by the word profile means what is you can save your current server settings in a form of profile file. So you might have some certain preferences on what Apache version you want, what PHP versions you want to be installed in the server, and what kind of what kind of Apache modules or PHP extensions you want on the server. And for each PHP version, you may have such kind of preferences, right? So what you can do is you can have all those preferences. You can by selecting all those preferences, you can save those preferences in a form of a profile and transfer that profile to a different server, so that you can have the same settings replicated on a different server. So that is the purpose of having a profile. So that is what you can see. If you have any other profile, then you will be able to see the list of profiles which are there in the server, along with the one which is currently installed. It will be showing as currently installed profile there. Currently installed profile, and then it will be having a button called convert to profile that will allow you to create the profile file which is transferable to a different server if needed. So now we will be, since in order to install we are going to install the PHP version 7.2 and PHP file info. We will have to edit the currently installed profile. So we will be going to the currently installed packages and clicking on customize button. So once since we are going to directly install PHP version, we are ignoring the Apache modules, and we are clicking on PHP versions directly, and you will be seeing the list of PHP versions available in the server. So what you can see here is you can see all the PHP versions available in the server, And your question might arise like, how am I supposed to know which PHP version is installed and which is not? You can see a slider button at the right, which is gray, which you can see two types. One is in gray color and another one is blue color. The one which are in gray color are not installed but available on the server, and the one which are there in blue color are actually already installed. So how to install the particular thing? Just have to toggle the slider button. So it will turn into blue and you'll see a text called install next to it. So it basically means this will be installed when you click on provision at the end of the process. So next step is to install the PHP module. We have chosen the PHP extensions, PHP version 7.2 to be installed. Now we'll be going forward to install PHP extension file info. So this is how we do. We click on the PHP extension button, and we'll be going on to type file info on the search bar, which will be showing file info extension for all the available PHP versions. So since we are installing PHP 7.2 here, we can choose PHP 7.2 PHP file info and toggle the respective slider so that it can be installed. So next step is since we have chosen the PHP version and the PHP extension we need to install, we wanted to install, we can straight away go over to the review tab, where you'll be seeing all your choices, all the PHP versions and PHP extensions you wanted to install, and also it also shows the dependencies that will be installed along with the version and the module you have chosen. So if it has any dependencies, that will also get stored. You just have to confirm that the PHP version you wanted to install, PHP file extension you wanted to install actually there in the list. Once we have reviewed that, we can go ahead, we can scroll down to the bottom and click on provision button. So it will be installing all the packages that were listed on the review tab. So once provision is completed and success, you see the success message at the bottom. We are done. We are done with installing the PHP version and PHP module, which basically means it's the process is pretty much simple to install a PHP version and PHP module, and the process is very much similar. It's very very much same when it comes to Apache modules and Apache versions. Okay, all right. Yeah, actually, I have included the detailed step-by-step instructions on how to use EasyApache, in the handout we have provided, and all the possible caveats, all the possible blockades you may face if something goes wrong, what to do. Everything has been the precautionary steps you have to take care before running the EasyApache 4. Everything has been described in detail in the handout I have provided, so you can refer to that whenever you want. So now it's time for the second question, second poll question we have of the day. So we have our friend Miss Alice wants to have a PHP 5.5 and PHP MySQL enabled on her server, and and she's telling that to me, and I'm supposed to provide a suggestion, my opinion to Alex on how to proceed further. So yeah, let us wait for the poll results to come in. All right, I guess we have received our poll results, and I could see 92% of people have voted for option A, where enable the PHP 4.5 and MySQL extension from EasyApache 4, and 8% have voted for advice or not to do that. So I would, I'll be going. I'll be one of the 8% people who have chosen advisor not to do that. I'll tell you why. Because PHP 5.5 is an older version. It's an outdated version. It has already reached end of life. Long ago. Because the recent version. I'm sorry, guys. I'm seeing some issues with the audio again. Uh, am I clear and audible? Can you guys raise your hands if I'm clear and audible? Sorry to keep asking you this.
It's clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, so what I was talking is, I'll be going for the option 2, where I'll be advising Alice to not to proceed with that. I'll tell you why. Because PHP 5.5 and PHP MySQL extension are outdated version and the extension to speak of. Because the latest, I mean, the most recent version which has went into end of life is PHP 7.2, that happened on 30th November 2020. So PHP 5.5 is around 3 to 4 versions older to the recent version which entered into end of life. So when a PHP version reaches end of life, it basically means PHP developers are not going to release any security updates for that particular PHP version, which basically means the code which is running on the outdated PHP version is actually a backdoor for any malware and virus attacks. So I don't know. I would not want Alice to go through, that trauma and trauma of clearing the entire server for malwares and virus. So I would tell Alice to not to install PHP 5.5 and MySQL on her server. Instead of that, I would ask her to upgrade her PHP website PHP scripts or website code to run with the latest versions of PHP and MySQL extensions, so that her website contents will always be safe. So let's proceed with the next topic here. So yeah, so we picked this topic. We picked this as a topic of discussion based on the research we did with the help of our team, because when we were trying to put down the list of frequently seen issues, 90% of issues which we received regarding VPS and dedicated servers were saying that my server is unresponsive, my server went down, my server is very slow, my website is not working fast. So when we look at the reasons that caused that issue, most of them were due to the resource crunch. Either the resources which are available in the server are not properly allocated, or the resources which are available in the server is not enough for the website to run properly. So by providing you a brief idea about how resource management should be considered, or how resource management has to be handled at a system administrator perspective, it would help you to choose your plan accordingly, so that you won't face any such resource crunch when you are running your website on your VPS dedicated server. So make the understanding of this concept easier, I have created a scenario of how I have taken only one of the resources, one of many resources that are there in the server processes, and I have called help from I got help from Beth, Amy, and Tom. So here Beth is the one who owns the server, which has 12 processes in total, and Amy and Tom are the website owners who are contacting Beth to get the processes they want to run their website. Okay, so the diagram which I have given over here shows you the current allocation of the resources. So Amy has 7 processes as allocated for her website, and Tom has 5 processes allocated to her website. So now let us assume that Amy is contacting Beth asking for 2 more processes. Okay, so we have 3 options to handle the situation. So what are those 3 options means? First option, Beth can either purchase 2 more processes from her web hosting company and allocate them to Amy, so that Amy will have 9 processes in total, and Tom will have 5 processes which is initially assigned to him. Second option is I can take 2 processes from Tom and give it to Amy. I'm sorry, give it to Amy, so that Amy has 9 processes, which she wanted, and Tom will have only 3 processes, which is 2 processes short from the value which was initially assigned to him, which makes Tom slower and inefficient. Last option is saying no to Amy, saying that Amy, no, I'm not able to, I won't be able to assign you the process you wanted. So you have to use just 7 processes which is initially assigned to you, and optimize your script to use those 7 processes and run your website properly. So this is the third option. So let me comment, or let me rate these 3 options. So first option is actually costlier, because Beth has to purchase the extra process to assign it to Amy. But it is kind of a diplomatic way, I would say, because Amy and Tom and Beth all are happy, because Amy gets what she wants. She got 9 processes, and Tom retains his initial value of process of 5, and Beth has upgraded her server, had a chance to upgrade her server to have 14 processes, like that. It's costlier, but it's a diplomatic way. Second option, where we take 2 processes from Tom and give them to Amy. It is actually cost effective, but it's like a reallocation. It's cost effective, but Tom is not happy here, because he is not having is not having the 2 processes, which will greatly affect the website he's running on the server. It will cause dissatisfaction for Tom, and he might complain that, okay, my website is not running properly. Third would cause customer dissatisfaction for Amy. Amy would feel disappointed to know that she will not be getting the process she wanted to run her website properly. So Amy would have to may decide whether she decide between optimizing a website script or moving over to different host, which who will be providing the process she wants. So what, if you ask me, which would be the the best option to follow, I would go for option A, which is Beth purchases 2 more processes and assign them to Amy, so that Amy has 9 processes, which that is what she wants, and Tom will retain the initial 5, which is sufficient for his website to run. So that is what I was trying to deliver via the concept of minimum and recommended system requirements, where minimum requirements will help you to do the job, but not as better as how recommended requirements works. So if Beth had gone for recommended requirements already at the time of purchase itself, for example, if she had already purchased the entire server with 14 CPU cores, and assigned 7 to Amy and 5 to Tom, and she will be having 2 processes free for assignment. So when Amy wants 2 more processes, it will be easy for Beth to assign them, because ruling out the necessity of upgrading Beth's server. So that is kind of a good thing to do, right? So that is what I was trying to say. Always instead of going for what is needed, go for a little something more than what is needed. That will always come in handy when you are stuck with something, or when you want to go through a very big process of upgrading a server or migrating the server to a different hosting server or something. You can save a lot of time through that. So that is what I wanted to say. Okay, next thing is yeah, we are we have the third poll question now. So what it says is, we have Mr. Stewart, who wants Mr. Stewart, who has an advertisement website, basically it's a web hosting website, web hosting company's website that requires at least 5 GB space for website space and website files and 3 GB space for mail. Okay, and he also requires Node.js software for the website developers, for his website developers, so that he can develop and maintain the website properly. So he is asking, the steward is asking me to suggest him with a good plan. So I have provided him with 3 options to get a shared hosting plan. Second option is to take a VPS hosting plan with 4 GB RAM and 4 CPU core. Third option is to get a basic, dedicated hosting plan with minimum requirements. So let's wait for you guys to, vote on the choice you go for. Okay, I got the poll results now. I could see 13% of people have voted for shared hosting plans, 63% for VPS hosting, and 25% dedicated hosting plan. My personal suggestion would be, since Stuart is my friend, my personal advice would be to go for a dedicated hosting plan. Why? Because I have told that Stuart is going to start a web hosting company, and he's creating the advertisement website to advertise for his web hosting company. So what I would want to do, want a steward to do is, I would not, when you start a business, you will have different departments. Like you will have sales department, you will have a billing department, you will have advertisement department. So instead of going for what is actually required, a minimum plan which provides you the exact minimum requirements, if you go for that, then you will have to purchase a different separate servers for each department. You will need a separate server for handling billing. You will need a separate server for handling sales. You will need a separate server for handling advertisements. Where you will be sending different email, promotional and advertising emails over there. So if you go for a VPS, the problem with the VPS is VPS has limitations on outbound. In this case, I'm saying, in this particular scenario, VPS has limitations on outbound emails. You cannot send as many emails as you can with a VPS server. Even though it has, our VPS SSD servers has, outbound email servers, outbound mail routing servers, which switches outbound email IPs, which now routes the possibility of your VPS server's IP getting blacklisted. The problem with that is you have limitations on that. But the case is not the same with the dedicated server. If you go for a dedicated server, you can always send as many emails as you want, provided you just make sure that you are not sending too many emails, at the same time. You can send emails in batches, say like 500 emails per 2 hours or something. For every 2 hours, you can send 500 emails. I'm just saying as a suggestion or something. It's not a math or calculation is involved, and I'm not there is no rule or something like that in dedicated servers. I'm just saying it for your good, so that we can avoid unwanted attention. Because when you send a lot of emails at the same time, you will attract unwanted attention from the different RPL authorities. They will start monitoring your email traffic, and they will get suspicious, and out of suspicion they might add your dedicated server's IP in their RPL as blacklisted. So then you will start facing your email issues due to blacklisted. The many recipients might reject your emails. So you'll have to contact RBL and get the IP address delisted, giving them the explanation why your email traffic were high. We can avoid all this if you are not sending, or you are not attracting too much of your attentions from RBL authority. So what you can do to avoid such kind of attention is you can reduce the number of emails you're sending at one go. Like you can send, like as I already told you, you can send the emails in batches. You can choose some 500 customers and send this hour, and you can wait for 2 hours and then send the second batch with another 500 customers. So that will save your time and prevent your IP from getting blacklisted if you go for dedicated service. And another advantage of having going for dedicated server is I told you that Stuart is going to start a web hosting company. So what he can do is in addition to the department wise setup, like he can set up, I told you he can set up sales website in the same server, billing website in the same server like WHMCS, and his website blogs, knowledge base websites, everything can be set up in the same server, which means he can have 5 different websites set up in the same dedicated server, which where the basic dedicated server configuration would be 16 GB RAM and 1 TB of hard disk connect. So it would pretty much more than enough for you guys. It's a kind of a recommended requirement for Stuart's scenario, Stuart's business setup, and he can even have his clients' websites also in the same dedicated server. So all his entire business can be set up in a single server instead of having separate servers for each department, each client website. We can do it all together in the same server. So yeah, that's the advantage I wanted Stuart to have. So I would go for the option 3, where he can go for a basic dedicated hosting plan with minimum amount of requirements. Okay, so yeah, now let's go for the next topic. I was telling, like these tools would help your developers to arrive at the minimum requirements for your websites. So these tools, Apache Bench and MySQL Tuner, will help you to identify the minimum requirements for your websites, so that you can choose a plan which has recommended requirements. Recommended requirements is basically a little more than what is required, little more than the minimum requirements. So it will help you how much amount of CPU you actually need, so that you can go ahead and purchase a hosting plan which a little hosting plan which has more than what is required. So I'll tell you how I'll walk you through how these two tools works. So Apache Bench is actually a stress testing tool. So what it does is it allows you to send simultaneous HTTP requests through your websites, and it will try to see whether your Apache web server is able to handle the load or not. So you can define how many requests you are going to send, how many requests you are going to send to that website hosted in the server, and whether and see whether the Apache is able to handle that, and you can keep on increasing the total number of simultaneous requests. And also you can okay, so also you can also do I'm sorry, so yeah, so you can define the size of the HTTP request also. So you can define the number of requests and also the size of the request, which helps you to identify the upper limit or upper thresholds for each and every Apache parameter. So thereby you can do a calculation or do a approximate calculation on to identify how much amount of RAM and CPU would be necessary for your website, and thereby with that you can choose how much you want to go for to have a recommended requirement setup for that. So next option is your MySQL Tuner. Actually, MySQL Tuner runs. This helps you to identify the optimal values for a MySQL configuration. So it is safe to run on your live server, where you can it will take into consideration of the currently running processes in the MySQL and provides you the according value. So it actually monitors, it actually analyzes the live nature of the server and gives you optimal value you can set up for your MySQL configuration, which will be helping you to identify that what is the actual necessary values your server can handle. So we can I have given you the URLs, the testing, the tutorial URLs for both the tools, which it explains in detail how to use those tools. And I have included these two URLs solutions guide also, so that you can refer to them. So these are the topics I have covered in the solution guide, and you can see the steps to how mount additional hard drives, editing and defining the resolver configuration for your DNS, outbound DNS, how to install cPanel, a one-liner script for cPanel, Plesk installation, both via command line as well as the web installer, how to install Plesk via web installer. How to to manage your firewall, to manage your IP tables firewall rules. Your front-end interface, which is provided by config server security firewall, will be useful. You can block, block, unblock, temporary block, limit the number of connections, etc. via the front-end interface. And I have given you the commands and the command syntax, as well as the example, which you can run in the command line also to manage your firewall rules. The next thing is installing and using the malware scanners like LAMAV and third-party scanners like Maldet, and how to install and enable Let's Encrypt SSL certificate as the default provider, because cPanel comes with a Certigo provider, which is cPanel's default SSL provider of auto SSL or free SSL. Some might get attracted to Let's Encrypt because it is a bit faster. So if you want to install and enable Let's Encrypt SSL certificate, you can go ahead with you can refer this handout and install the Let's Encrypt as a SSL provider for you. And as I already told you when we were discussing about Apache EasyApache 4, this particular handout has the detailed explanation about how EasyApache works and what are all the possible things that that may go wrong while EasyApache 4. Or you will also know what are all the precautionary steps you have to take, or what are all the possible caveats that is involved in handling your Apache PHP versions and the extensions. So we had two questions coming in. Three webinar questions came in, and I am honored to answer that. So yeah, first question is, shall we configure one-click install setup for different software stacks? Yeah, we can do that, because we have different third-party applications, plus Fantastic or Deluxe, etc., which has their own way of providing the customers with the client application packages, which you can install, which you can just install without having to go through the complex process of doing it from the command line. So the problem, the thing is, in case of VPS and dedicated servers, we are not partnering with any of this software class or Fantastic Deluxe, etc. So that because of that, we won't be able to maintain the license for those softwares. So those softwares requires licenses, so you will have to contact their dedicated support team, respective support team, and get the licenses provision for your server IP, and your you have to take the license in your name first, and then if you contact the our support team to install those applications on the server with the license, we will happy to do that. We'll be very happy to do that. We can do that on your behalf on the VPS or dedicated server fee. The thing is, you will have to just contact the respective support team and get the license for you guys. Next thing is, how many users can a VPS support? So what I infer from this is, I guess you're talking about the number of connections a VPS server can handle, or you're talking about the total number of users or the cPanel accounts that VPS server can support. I'll answer both of the questions. For example, if we are talking about the maximum connections, as I already told you about, we were discussing about the VPS resource management, where I was talking about minimum and maximum, minimum and recommended system requirements. If your server is having minimum system requirements, it might find it difficult to handle the when more number of connections comes in than it can handle. So with the help of the testing tools we were discussing earlier, you can find out how much uh, uh, incoming connections the resource user, VPS user VPS server can handle, and with that data you'll be able to figure out how much amount of RAM and CPU will be needed. So this incoming connections handling is directly dependent on amount of RAM and CPU you have in the server. So more amount of RAM and CPU you have in the server, more number of connections it can handle. To give you a materialistic example, I would say if your server is having 4 GB RAM and 4 CPU cores, the server is, if the website is a simple website, a simple blog, it can handle up to 1000 to 1500 connections per day. So that is the materialistic example I could give, for that particular configuration. If it is, if you're talking about the number of user accounts, cPanel user accounts that could be set up in the VPS, that is dependent upon the your disk space available. So you can check the available disk space on the server after installing the whichever control panel you want to use, and then you can accordingly set up the accounts. It differs. Each and every cPanel account will be having different disk usage. So you will have to do the calculation based on that, and determine the number of accounts you can set up in the VPS. I guess that happens. I mean, that answers your question. Next thing is, how do we obtain the license for the cPanel and apply it to VPS? So actually, we are partnered with partnered with cPanel so that we can provide we can manage the licenses, cPanel licenses for our VPS and dedicated customers. So you don't have to contact cPanel explicitly to get the license. All you have to do is just log into your control panel and purchase cPanel license as an add-on. And I have provided the key, not key, that's a command actually to activate the license key from your server. So in the handout, if you refer to the handout, you can see under the cPanel installation of cPanel section, you can see the exact command you want to run. You should be running in order to activate your cPanel license. Also, what you will be doing is you'll just purchase cPanel add-on from the reseller control panel and log into your server and run the command. So that will activate your license key for the VPS. So yeah, I guess that's it about the questions which came pre-session. If you guys have any other questions for me, I'm obliged to answer. Spam messages every week. Yeah, so I can answer the question, because the thing with the spam is always there is a the spammers always finds a way around sending out the spam emails. It is possible to send out emails even without having the exact email account password of the email address, which is used as the from address. We call the technical spoofing, which just uses the the email address is a mask, like a face mask, and the actual email address, which will actual authentication details will be different. So if it is possible, then it is pretty much kind of impossible or a tedious process to stop the incoming spamming or outcoming. I mean, like the only what you can however, we are having a lot of options to counter the spamming thing. For example, if you can by setting up the strong passwords for your email account to prevent hacking of the email accounts, you can use Apache Spam Assassin. You have an option in your cPanel provided option called Apache Spam Assassin, where you can configure different kind of spam parameters. You can set score, like the spam score will be calculated based on different attributes of the email you are receiving, and you will be setting up a maximum limit for the spam score. So if the score exceeds that value, then that email will be tagged as spam and it will be sent to the spam box. If you have configured the spam box, and there is a way to configure spam box, and if you have not configured the spam box, that will be deleted. It is possible to configure it from your cPanel itself, or if you're talking about outgoing spamming, only way to do is setting up your making sure that setting up a monitoring kind of stuff. There are a lot of software, third-party softwares available, like spam experts, tying up with some RBL authorities. There are certain RBL authorities who provides monitoring your outbound email traffic. And if they find any abnormalities, they will be alerting you regarding the abnormal email traffic, and you can log into the server and take necessary actions to counter it. So that is how we can tackle the concept of spamming, incoming and outgoing spamming. Okay, we have another question from Kurt. Okay, how is cloud hosting in which we get dedicated RAM and CPU different from VPS? Okay, so I'll tell you how cloud hosting is different from VPS. Okay, so cloud is a technology which allows you to auto scale or which allows you to scale your resources, your RAM and CPU RAM and CPU. It will allows you to increase or decrease your RAM allocated to your account in the real time. It is not possible in a shadow hosting server. So when you purchase a shadow hosting account, you will be stuck with the amount of RAM and CPU which is assigned at the time of provisioning your order. But when it comes to cloud, it has an option to have your or increase your CPU and RAM count. But only but it is pretty much how the cloud technology works. But the difference between VPS and cloud is in cloud you are actually sharing the space, your web space with other accounts that are not related to you. It's basically something like a cloud technology in a shared server. So cloud technology allows you to scale your resources, and implementing the cloud technology in the shared server gives you the cloud hosting. So again, the cloud servers has its own limitations on the PHP parameters, Apache parameters, MySQL parameters, which you cannot change. If you want, for example, if you want the PHP script execution time to set to 60 seconds, it is not possible in the cloud hosting. It's not possible in the shadow hosting either, but it is possible in your VPS. So when it comes to CPU and RAM, the dedicated CPU and RAM, it is cloud and the VPS are pretty much the same. You get to use completely the RAM and CPU assigned to you. However, cloud has some limitations where VPS does not. That is the only difference we have. Any other questions?
Hi, Srinath. Thank you. I think we're almost over time. So those are all the questions we can take for today. Thanks a lot, Srinath. Thank you, everyone, for being a great audience today and engaging. We're sorry we couldn't answer all the questions, but we will be replying to you guys over email shortly. So we will answer all the questions we missed via email, and we will also send a recording of the session, shortly. And I think Jaswinder, maybe we can just handle one more doubt from him. He's asking, Jaswinder didn't understand the limitation you were talking about, Srinath. Is there anything you can tell him quickly? Or maybe we can, after that, we can definitely.
Yeah. So what I was talking is limitations on PHP parameters. For example, if you are running a PHP script which requires, and you are seeing timeout issue, the script timeout issue. It says that, okay, so script timeouts, script requires some kilobits of memory to complete the execution, or it requires more amount of time to complete the execution. The problem, you are seeing this problem because we have set up limitations on maximum PHP execution time and maximum PHP memory limit. We have the memory limit set to 512 MB and script execution set to 30 seconds. So your script cannot execute. If the script execution exceeds 30 seconds, it will time out. It will not complete the execution, and you will see an error in your website. And if it takes more than 512 MB of your RAM, if one PHP processor, one script takes more than 512 MB of RAM, then basically we treat that particular script as suspicious. Because a simple script should be able to execute within 512 MB of RAM. If it is taking more than that, it is doing something suspicious. So we have to have such kind of limitations for in our cloud and shadow hosting servers. But you don't have to have such kind of limitations in your VPS, because that VPS service is dedicated to your website. Whereas in cloud and shared, we have other websites which are not related to your website, also hosted in the same website space. So we have to provide the same amount of experience, the same amount of hosting experience which we are providing you. So so that's what I was trying to explain by limitations. So yeah, guess that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Jaswinder is also saying that he understood. So great, thank you, Srinath. So yeah, once again, everyone, thank you for joining us today. Just wanted to inform you all of the next this month at ResellerClub event, which is on 30th of March. We will be covering the new Google Workspace along with other email services of ResellerClub in that event. It's going to be at the same time as today. So yeah, we hope to see you there. And thank you once again for joining and being a great audience. And you guys will receive answers to questions as well as the recordings shortly. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this webinar. See you.